Shaving donkeys is a waste of time and soap. Hello everyone, we're back again for another Netflix movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Rogue City. Rogue City is a French-produced Netflix movie. So the story is quite simple really. There's a few gangs in Marseille that are warring each other. They've got cops on their books, so you've got corrupt, dirty cops, and then you've got one cop and his squad who are trying to rid the city of everyone. Let's just start by this. I love a film that involves crooked, dirty cops. Although it's a French movie, there's a few people that you may recognize, notably Jean Reno, Mr. Leon himself. Love this guy. Loved him since I first saw him in Godzilla. What a movie that was. But I also had Erica Buonet in it, who I recognize from Earth and Blood. I reviewed that film earlier in the year. Link is in the description. Fantastic movie. The film in France is called Bronx. I was a bit confused by that when I saw that in the title, so I had to do a bit of research into that. But apparently it's a term that they use for a messy situation. Messy situations indeed. Straight off the bat, this film hooks you in. The opening scene, you're just like, wow, this guy is into some serious stuff. I need to know more. I'm involved now. But then it does that thing where it goes back 3 weeks earlier to show you what led up to that scene, which I like. Because now I really want to know what happened. I really need to know how he got to this point. One thing I took notes of early was the scenery and the general feeling of where this film was shot. Normally when you're watching films, it's set in America, New York, London, or capital cities of these European places. Marseille had a completely different look and feel compared to a lot of other movies that we watch, and I appreciate that here. It was different. You had different landscapes, different settings. I liked it. This film looks at the blurred lines of morality between cops and gangsters. This has been done plenty of time before in films. One that sprung to mind most closely was The Departed. Now, no way am I saying this film is on that kind of level, but it had similar sort of themes and vibes to The Departed. The American version, obviously, The Departed is based on Internal Affairs, and they are both 5-star movies. And even though it's been done before, I'm a sucker for it nonetheless. This film does lead you to believe that everyone is bad, just someone further down the scale than others. There are no good guys here. How far is someone willing to go to bend the rules to get justice? Strangely enough though, even though it's looking at the morality of the cops, we don't really get any fleshed out characters. We don't really get any backstory for anyone in this film, so we never really know their motivations and what's driving them. But again, strangely enough, I was watching the film and I wasn't asking for these things. I wasn't disappointed by this. There were some scenes that were just so cold, so raw, so ruthless, and I loved it. It literally had me yelling out at certain moments. But then there was one shootout that reminded me of the Game of Thrones episode. You know the one I'm talking about, where it was shot in the dark and you couldn't really see what was going on. I literally had to go into 3 different devices because I thought something was going on with my screens. I couldn't see what was happening. People were shooting at each other. I couldn't see who was on what side. That was bad. Sort out the cinematography. There's no excuse for that. So when scenes like that happen, and as I spoke about the lack of depth in characters happen, this made this a very hard film for me to review because the things I normally complain about existed in this film, but I loved it anyway. So I can see this film being very polarizing. I would liken this film to The Accountant with Ben Affleck. It currently has a 52% score on Rotten Tomatoes. However, I loved that movie when it came out. Everyone I spoke to loved it. Everyone was talking about this is one of their favorite films of that year, but yet the critics gave it a hard time, and I think this film is along those sort of routes. The critics are not gonna like it, but the feelings it gave me, I loved it. I spoke about yelling at certain moments, and this came to a head with the ending. I could not believe what happened. I was in shock. I thought it was outstanding, but yet I still found myself asking the question, what exactly happened here? This film is strange in so many ways, but superb in some others. The acting was solid throughout. There were no standout performances here, but quality all round. And that just reminds me of another point. A few people have been telling me they've been watching these movies with the dubbing on. Don't do it to yourself. Watch it in the native language with subtitles. There's no way you're going to get a true feeling for people's performances and the intensity of what they're saying watching in a dub, and it just is off to me. So make sure you change your Netflix settings. So in the end, I'll just say I love this movie. I love the intensity, the action scenes, and the rawness. This film was a combination of genres that came together really well. I also liked how individual stories were pieced together within this movie. There were definitely moments when I was like, this is not realistic, come on, seriously? But that didn't take away from my overall feeling of joy and excitement throughout. I'm recommending that you watch this. Netflix have been putting out some good work recently and are ending the year strong. 4 stars. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and watch some other videos.